Today on the grid, we're doing blind photo critiques of wildlife photos. Eric Kuna is shirking his daily responsibilities. He's snorkeling down in the Florida Keys boat. We've got a great photographer here. Stephen Gotz is with us in the studio. We've got a cool giveaway or two, and it all starts in just 60 seconds.
The Grid is brought to you by Tamron. Check out their 28 to 75 millimeter f2.8 lens. It's for Sony full frame mirrorless. It's awesome. Go to tamron-usa.com.
And ProPhoto, the light shaping company. Check out the ProPhoto B1X, powered all the right places. Go to prophoto.com/US.
And Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. I'm Scott Kelby, and I'm joined by wildlife photographer and just generally cool guy, Kelby 1 instructor, Stephen Gotz. Welcome, Stephen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you watched this, you've seen The Grid before?
A few hundred times.
We've done it a few hundred times. Yeah. We were just talking about this. We're going to talk about this in just a second. This is like, what, our 7th year? We're hundreds of episodes into this, and isn't that enough?
No, it's never
Let's
enough.
do one more. Let's do
There's
another.
always something new. There's something exciting, and there's something happening.
There is. There's always something happening in the photography world. And so, a couple things. So today we're doing wildlife blind photo critiques. We've asked our viewers to send in some of their wildlife photos. We're going to go through a whole bunch of them today. I think we're going to try to get to 20 of them today. So we're going to be kind of quick. Now, you're going to have to be, do you have an iPhone with you?
I'm an Android guy.
Android phones won't do what I'm going to ask you to do. I need a timer.
Oh. I have a timer.
Well, you know,
but
Stephen,
I also need to turn the sound
Stephen,
down.
if we had known you're an Android guy, we would have had a different guest. I mean, there's
well.
plenty of people out there in the photography world. We didn't have to get an Android. Somebody's, hey, the South Korean government thanks you. All right. So we're just going to need a timer because we like to keep these to 3 minutes. So we don't want to run these too long because we used to go 12 minutes on the first one. All right, but before we do, I have 2 bits of news. First one, very big, super big. I'm announcing today officially, it'll really be officially announced Friday, but I'm giving you guys on the grid a heads up. I am doing a workshop in Prague. So that is coming up on May 21st through May 24th, so just a few months away in beautiful Prague. It's not that. That's not it. That's not mine. I'm doing a travel photography workshop with Mimo Madani. So, you know, Mimo and I we've done Paris, we've done Venice, we've done Rome. I'm so excited about Prague. Prague is an amazing city. It is an absolute photographer's paradise. There is a shot around every corner. Great food, great people. We've got a great hotel. We're going to be at the Hilton Prague Old Town, which is in a perfect location. It really is just going to be very, very exciting. Now, here's the problem. I let people who have been to my previous seminars know first. So if you've attended one of my workshops, not my seminars, my workshops, if you've gone to one of my workshops in the past, then you get first shot at coming to a new workshop. So I contacted those people. I only have 12 spots total, and they took 10 of them. So I only have 2 spots available left. So the other 10 are taken. But if you want to join us, go to scottkelbyworkshops.com and join Mimo and I. We've got an incredible week put together. And I can tell you from the 10 people that have already booked, I know them. We've got a great, great group. You're going to have a ball. You're going to come home with amazing, crazy, great pictures. And you'll be surrounded by some of the best people there are. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's coming up May 21st through 24th. There's only 2 seats left. So if you want to get them, on Friday I'm going to officially announce it on my blog, and I'll have a video and everything about it. But you could grab those 2 tickets there. Now, it says tickets coming soon, so it would be hard to get. Go to Eventbrite. So that's where I sell my tickets at, Eventbrite, EVENTBRITE. Go to eventbrite.com. And then from there, you can just search for Scott Kelby. You'll find Picture Perfect Prague, and that's how you can get your tickets. All right. If you can't go to scottkelbyworkshops.com at the very bottom of the page, sign up for my early bird email, and that way you'll be the next people in line. So the people that have been to previous workshops get first dibs. Then everybody on that email list, and then today I announced it. So everybody on my email list already learned about it as well. So if you want to just get early bird access, ScottKelbyWorkshops.com. Scroll down, sign up for that. All right, number 2. So I get a text from RC yesterday, and RC points me to an article celebrating 9 years of the Fuji X100, right? And it's a very good article. In fact, let me give you the exact name of it here because I can't see it over there. It is, so it's, I'm sorry, it's a Petapixel article. It's on Petapixel. It's called 3 Ways the Fuji X100 Changed the Camera Industry Forever. And it's written by Michael, and I may be pronouncing his name wrong, Camus, I think it is. Or it could be Camier, but it's, because it could be French. I don't know. But anyway, it's a very well-written article, and I agree with it. I mean, he really writes that the Fuji was kind of the gateway drug to mirrorless in general. So for those of you who don't remember, it was smaller. It had that old classic look, and it felt great in your hands and stuff. Well, when it came out, they sent RC a loaner unit. Now, I was intrigued by it because Zach Arias had done a review, which you'll see in just a second. Zach had done a great review on it, and it was, and I was like, ooh, this camera sounds really, really good. Then they sent one to RC. And then I'm gonna show you the episode of the grid. It's episode 18. So that is like 2011. So we've been doing this for 9 years. Wow. We've been doing this show a long time. We're doing this show before shows were a thing. Anyway, I'm going to play you a little bit of the video so you can hear RC talking about it. And this particular episode got us a level of hatred you cannot believe. So let me go ahead and just play the video, and let me get it queued up here. And we'll just play a little bit of it for you. Here we go.
Oh, well, I can back up a little further. I read Zach Arias' review of the Fuji X100. By the way, terrific review. It was so well done and so enthusiastic and everything. And I'm like, I think the world of Zach. I'm like, if he says it's good, it's good. He's no slouch. So I couldn't wait to get a hold of one. So RC's in his office. He goes, look, I got a Fuji. Let me take a little. I got a Fuji X100. I'm like, dude, it's the dream. So he just got it in. He got it in as an evaluation. He didn't buy it. It's not his. It has to go back. But it came in as an evaluation unit. So RC started evaluating it. And we had to go do, the little promo video on the homepage of the Worldwide Photo Walk? We went to go shoot that. And it's hot as blazes in Florida. And we're outside of Starbucks, or we're in Starbucks. Mm-hmm. And RC says, how do you like it? And RC says, I love the way it looks, which I do too. It's got that retro look. I love the way it looks. How do you like it, RC? And RC says, it doesn't focus every time. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, here. So I played with it for a little while. I'm like, wow, this looks kind of cool. I take a shot of RC and I look, and it's in focus. I take another one. It's out of focus. I take another one. It's out of focus. Now you got to realize, I don't know anything about this camera, but I've never picked up a camera in my life. I don't care if you go to Walgreens and you buy a disposable point and shoot camera, the ones that are film and you throw them away when you're done and you send the film, like a disposable camera. It takes an in-focus shot every time. Mm-hmm. So I aim this. There's a little focus knob. I aim it right at RC. I'm sitting a little bit further from.
Not kind of off. Not off to a distance.
I put it right on your face, right on your eye. I hold it. It goes beep. It turns green. It shows me it's in focus. I take the picture, and it's out of focus. I'm like, dude, how much is this thing? I think it lists for $1,400.
No, it's $11.99.
Well, you can get it for $11.99.
Yeah.
What's it list for? That's the street price.
Right.
It's okay. Let's say $1,200. Forget, you don't have to look at it.
Okay.
$1,200. And I'm like, dude, it's $1,200. So RC let me play with it. There are some things I like about it. I like the way it feels.
It feels sexy.
I love the look. The look is what you're paying for because it looks great. But every second or third photo is out of focus. Strings of things are out of focus. So I go on 500px. I go on Google Plus and I write my first impressions of this camera. I cannot get it to take an in-focus photo. So all these people pile on. It's people that say, I've heard the same thing. Even Zach in his review said the focus was what, problematic?
Quirky. Can be frustrating.
Right, so it can be frustrating. So everybody said, oh man, you're using it wrong. I picked up 100 cameras in my life.
All right, so that was the gist of it. Was we're telling this real life story, and then we start reading people's tweets about it, and there were some really funny tweets. But anyway, RC and I got buried from that thing. I mean, buried, just buried. People were like, "You don't know how to use a camera. You don't know what the hell you're talking about." They were calling us names. They mentioned my mother. It was everything that you can imagine bad. They were said to us. And actually, RC sent me a screen capture of, let me find it here, one of them. All right. So this is what, take a look on my screen here if you can see this. So, can you see my screen? Maybe not. Okay, hold on. Maybe this will do it now. See my screen now? All right. So they called us bullies, and it says Scott Kelby loses on the X100. I don't know if you can read this, but anyway, it was. I sat down to watch Scott Kelby's latest episode of The Grid and had the great privilege of watching bullies. And then he says, we basically trash the camera. They don't review it, they just trash it. Because you see, the X100 apparently cannot focus consistently, ever. And anyone who says it does is a meh. This, he said, seriously, this is the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen in a heck of a while. Now, you guys have watched The Grid, you're watching it now. This is already the most unprofessional thing you're going to see all week. So that's kind of a given. But we got buried. People are writing blog posts, and RC sent me all these screen captures and stuff and all. But here's why this all comes full circle today. So here we are, 9 years after the X100 comes out. And Petapixel wrote this article. Let me show you the, hold on, let me find it. Here he goes, right here. This article, 3 Ways the Fuji X100. Very good article, very well written. And he really does make the thing that this was kind of the camera that spurred the mirrorless revolution. However, I want to read you an important quote that he says in the article, right here. The X100 was a monster hit, despite major flaws like a horrendous autofocus system. Slow operation and tendency to crash. Some of its issues were corrected through firmware, but make no mistake, this camera was a hot mess upon release. So this is a weird thing in photography. And what we kept saying, and was so frustrating to RC and I, is all of these people know the X100 doesn't focus, but they just won't admit it. Why don't you just say, I bought this camera, I spent $1,200.
You can't.
It doesn't. Yes, you can. You can say. So I call my buddy Mike. My buddy Mike is a photographer, and I call him up and say, Mike, you got an X100. Just be honest with me. Tell me what you think. Scott, I love this camera. I love the way it works. He said, I take it in my back. I take it on my bike, and I have it right there. And if I see something I want to shot, I shoot it, take it out. And I said, so is the autofocus okay? He's like, oh, the autofocus is terrible. Oh, it's a mess. I have to shoot the same shot again and again. I'm like, oh my gosh, why won't anybody admit it but Mike, my friend Mike? Well, because he's my friend. But this is what we do in photography. We will go down with the ship. We'll shoot a camera and defend it and do blog posts to tell you how upset you are that someone actually pointed out. And now, 9 years later, we all accept that the Fuji 100 focus-wise was a piece of trash. Now it's fully accepted. You write it on here and nobody goes, no, you're wrong. They're like, yeah, that thing was a mess and all. That's how weird photographers are. Anyway, shout out to RC for pointing this out. Now, RC said we should do another episode of The Grid called 9 Years Later, and he used a bunch of expletives to just, and he went, bunch of expletives, Fuji users. We were right. Anyway, high five to RC. That's all I got. High five to RC for pointing all that out. Okay, Steven's here. We've had a bunch of your photos. We're going to launch into them. Steven, how many minutes do they get?
3 minutes each.
All right. Now, I am not a wildlife photographer. I will show you I do have a single wildlife photography shot. This is it. Boom. Yep. So this was taken in my local zoo, the zoo that you were at this morning.
Yep.
And so Stephen went to this very same zoo today. It's the Tampa Zoo, right? Isn't it
yes,
just called
the Tampa Zoo Lowry Zoo. Yeah.
Tampa Zoo at Lowry Park. It was just called the Lowry Park Zoo when I went there. And Stephen, of course, has done a whole great class on Kelby 1, literally about shooting in zoos, which is, you know, you made some great points before we went on the air about why shooting in zoos are so awesome. It's a lot of things I hadn't thought about, but why is shooting in zoos so awesome?
Well, first of all, if you want to shoot something and you know it's going to be there, you want to go shoot some wildlife, the zoo will have it. You may not have every animal every time, but there will be animals that you can see. If you go to, let's take the Tampa Zoo, for example, it was wonderful today. There was no fencing in the way for the orangutans. And they threw food to them, and I have pictures of them catching the food. The little ones can't catch it yet, and so they end up getting the leftovers. But I guess you have to be about 5 years old to catch.
Yeah, then you start catching like a boss.
If you want to shoot chimpanzees, you go to the Los Angeles Zoo. It's amazing, and they even have places to sit right across from the chimps. No glass, no fencing. It's a wonderful thing. If you want to shoot black bears, then you come to my zoo in Oakland, California, where we have summers behind glass, and then they can wander out and you can see them climb trees and all that kind of thing. Or you want to shoot wolves. There's always something to shoot, but it's not just the animals. Most zoos have a lot of plants, flowers, all kinds of stuff. Some of them have really interesting architecture.
Yeah, you were talking about shooting over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. They've got some, I don't want to call them set pieces because it's a real zoo, but they've got some setups that are marvelous.
I shot some Asian birds that were near an Asian-looking temple. I couldn't tell you what religion temple it was, but it was fun to do, and they're right there. When you can walk into the aviary, as in Disney's Animal Kingdom, or if you walk into the aviary in Tampa Zoo, the birds are right there, and there's a sign that tells you what they are. So here's tip number one for you. I take my camera and I take a picture of the sign so that right after so it's either right before or right after that I've got pictures of the bird, because I'm not going to remember which kind of hornbill it was or what kind of tern it was. So I take a picture of the sign. In some cases, there's so many birds, I just take a picture of the entire sign with the entire list on it. And that helps you when you get back to name your files. Now, you and I don't name our files. I'm a keyworder. Yes, I know.
Ah, man, you're
I know.
really upsetting me.
When I keyword, I might have 30 or 40 different species when I go to the zoo, all on the same chip. So I give everybody Oakland Zoo animal. And anything that has Oakland Zoo animal ends up in a special collection that I designed that said it doesn't have anything else. It doesn't have bear, it doesn't have lion, it doesn't have any of the other list of things I have. So then I know they need keywording. So when somebody says to me, hey, what have you got for elephants? I can go straight to the elephant collection and get specific from there. I don't have to first say, oh, I want elephants and I want them at this zoo.
Okay.
So it's just really easy for me to do it that way.
All right. I was going to show you a picture from the Disney. I can't find it. And maybe I'll find it on one of the breaks. But let's start our critiques. Ready with the clock? Ready with the...
I'm ready with the clock.
All right, here we go. So this is our I'm going to have to open these in camera raw, it looks like, because they're kind of small. So let me open them in camera raw so you can see them larger. They won't open in camera raw. Good news. All right, so I have another way we can do this. Let's just do it kind of like this. So, all right, here's our first image. It's kind of bigger. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take you through all three images. Oh, it's showing up small. Rats. Will it go bigger? It won't go bigger. And I can't make it bigger.
That's when you hit F, that was it. Okay.
It won't open in camera.
What we're seeing is we're seeing a hummingbird, which is a lot of fun. My favorite place to shoot hummingbirds, by the way, is in the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. You can walk right in with them. But I'm going to have to look over your shoulder to figure out what I'm looking at.
I was going to see if I can get to the next image here. There we go. There's another hummingbird. Okay. Yeah, sorry. You can see it on the screen there, but it's kind of far away there too.
But you can tell, okay, so the things I like about the photo is that the background is blurred out, so they used a pretty open aperture. They used a very quick shutter speed because I don't see a lot of blur in the wings. And the composition looks fine to me. I'd be happy with those shots.
Here, I can get it bigger that way.
There we go.
There we go.
See how clear it is? And the eye is in focus from what I can tell from here.
Yeah.
The wings a little bit out, but hey, there's a limit to just how fast you can go without raising your ISO
Well, it's kind
too
of nice
far.
that it shows movement, right? I mean,
Yeah.
The fact that there's a little movement in those wings.
Absolutely.
Those hummingbirds, they really flap fast.
Yes.
They're fast flappers.
Yeah. I mean,
True.
when I shoot hummingbirds, it's at like 1/2000.
All right, so pretty good. So we're off to a good start.
Absolutely.
Any words of wisdom, or is that we're pretty good right there?
No, I think we're pretty good.
All right, well, good job. I don't know who the photographer was, but nice job on all three of those. I like that's my least favorite because the background's a little busier.
Right.
Here, let me open that a little larger. How are we doing on time there, by the way?
I had a minute left.
All right, so the background's just kind of busier.
Yeah. Well, they could have done something. Also, the tongue isn't in the, but you can see the whole tongue, so that's a good thing.
Nice tongue shot.
Yeah. For those of you
This
who
could've
like
been tighter.
animals with tongues out, by the way, there's a Facebook group. I don't run it, but it's called Tongue Out Tuesday. And they post on Tuesdays it started off with dogs and cats, and I sort of,
How do we like that? Do we like it better, tighter?
yes,
That's the full image.
yes.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, maybe you throw a little bit of extra blur on the far left.
All right.
Or get rid of some of the yellow on the far
Okay,
left.
that's from old stuff. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to look at a whole bunch of images. We got a couple of shout outs. Hugh's here from Basingstoke. Dale's here from Denver. Pernille's here from Denmark. We're all watching, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Is the tripod dead? Sure, a tripod works for basic shots, but who wants to be basic? You don't need basic, you need blockbuster. And that's a job for a platypod. The platypod is your go-anywhere, do-anything flat tripod base. Its compact design helps you discover unique angles that you could never reach with a typical tripod. So, whether you're bringing up baby, driving Miss Daisy, or with your beasts of the southern wild, you can capture big-budget footage and stills for a fraction of the time and money. So go ahead, shoot the next Rocky or Birdman. Or on the waterfront, the platypod is equipped to grip uneven surfaces and hang from just about anything. When tripods go low, the platypod goes lower. Its flat base reaches the lowest possible angle, resulting in truly inventive shots that can't be replicated with traditional equipment. And if you feel like adding a dramatic overhead angle, the platypod has you covered. Just strap it or screw it in, and you're ready to go within minutes. The platypod is constructed from aircraft-grade aluminum and titanium. Yeah, the stuff Air Force One is made of. So it's durable enough to travel with you from Chinatown to Casablanca and everywhere in between. If you only take the tripod, the story ends. You wake up the next morning with nothing but basic footage. Or you could take the platypod to a museum, or on an elevator, or strap it to a tree, or hanging on a bench at church, or put it on the ground and get incredible blockbuster footage. Who are we kidding? You should totally take the platypod. The tripod is not dead, but it needs a sidekick. The platypod.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we are back with Steven, and we are looking at wildlife photos. We got a bunch of photos we're going to just crank right into. We got some giveaways today. Going to be giving away a Platypod Ultra. It is the ultimate. You just saw the ad for it. Wouldn't it be great to win one? All you have to do is leave a comment, and you're entered to win. That's number one. Number two, Stephen has been so gracious to give us this book to give away today called Animals Reviewed. I got a chance to look at this before we went on there. This is so clever. Can you explain the premise of the book?
The premise is a guy was reviewing up in the Oregon Zoo. He was reviewing a pair of waterproof boots that he'd bought on Amazon. And he realized that calling it brown and waterproof and all sounded just like his favorite new rescue at the zoo, which was a seal. So he realized that you could review animals just like you review a product. So in here, one of mine, the shot is a black bear. Only in California, black bears aren't necessarily black. They may be on the East Coast, but not on the West Coast. So it only got 4 stars because it's not black as advertised. Anyway, it's just a humorous book.
So we're giving it away. It's very cute. We're also giving away Dave Williams' book, The Complete Aurora Guide. So it is, Dave Williams is a expert at shooting, what would you call it? Natural air, something phenomenon. Natural stuff in the sky.
Astral phenomenon.
Stuff. Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Astral?
Astral.
Dave is an astral photographer. Is okay?
Sounds
Did I say
right.
that badly? We're giving away Dave's book. It's about shooting stuff up there. Anyway, we're giving away all of that today. Just drop anything in there. It'd be nice if you say, I'd like to win Dave's book, or I want to win the animal book, or the platypod. That way we don't send you something like, yeah. So just say, hi from Basingstoke, and then we'll know. All right, let's go. Here's our next one. Hit the timer clocky thingamabobber.
All right.
And we'll take a look at these 3 images we've opened here in Camera Raw. That's 1. That's 2.
That's my favorite of the 3.
Absolutely.
That one took a lot of work. I know that he waited, whoever the photographer was, waited until the bird did that. But the other bird in front of it, it's a little hard to tell, and the stick, it's just a little messy.
It is
Even
messy.
though it was a well-done shot, and I'm sure it took a lot of planning and waiting, but it's just a little messy.
This is nice.
It's very nice.
Now, you know what? There's something about this shot that is kind of a common thing that is good, and that's there's space in front of the bird.
Yes.
So we as people don't like to see anything boxed in. We like to see athletes with space in front of them to run if they're running. We want to see animals with space in front. That's the only thing I don't like about this one. It's just
not enough
cropped a
room.
little
It's
too close in front of that. Is that a duck?
And you know they didn't shoot it square, so
Right, yeah.
the question was it already pushed to the right and they did the best they could, or did they just crop it too close? It's hard to tell.
We like this one.
Yep.
It's got everything going on. This is not bad. This one's a mess.
On the one I like,
It's messy.
I might be tempted to dodge a little bit on the lower part of the beak and the
Right
feet.
there?
Yeah.
And the feet.
Yeah,
Brighten
just
that up a
ever
little
so
bit.
slightly. Yeah.
Brighten that up. We will probably brighten the whole thing up a little.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to blow out the white part, so that's the hard part. I almost always underexpose as I'm shooting because there's just so much sunshine, or there's things that are going to cause you a problem. If you underexpose, at least with my cameras, I'm able to bring up the shadows a whole lot better than recover highlights.
Yeah. All righty. Well, that's not bad at all. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Go ahead and hit the timer Rooney, and we'll see what we've got. Well, this is not a blind critique if you put your name in big letters on the picture, by the way. Is that a snow owl?
Yeah, snowy owl.
A snowy owl, excuse me. Snowy.
So, another snowy owl. I'm wondering, is the white blown out or is there detail? Can we go in a little bit?
Let's see if
It's
we
a
can
little
open it
hard.
in camera.
It's just from looking on a monitor all the way across the room. No, there seems to be some detail
Yeah,
there.
I think
No,
we're looking
that's
at
fine.
a low-res image, so it's
Okay.
I think there's detail. I think
Yeah,
it's
okay. Well, in that case, well done.
So, any comments, critiques, anything for this photographer?
Well, the fact that the bird is looking at the camera is a really big plus. I know that the bird's not actually looking at the camera, but if it looks like it is, that one, I don't know.
That's the weakest of the bunch?
Yeah, I realize it was some effort to get it, but I'm not particularly thrilled by it. Maybe, if there was a more resolution, more pixels, you can go in, tighter, things like that. It's hard to say, but I just not happy about it.
It is much more engaging when the animal's looking directly at
Yes.
you. Like you can really see that in that one. Okay. Alrighty, not bad at all. Let's see what we've got. Let's roll on over here.
Okay.
That, of course, is a Toucan.
Yeah. That is a situation where you might be able to tell on your computer if the sky was replaced or not. But the shutter speed just wasn't fast enough to deal with the ends of the wings.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, it's a dead tree.
Yeah.
Dead tree isn't like, woo.
Yeah, the problem is if you're shooting on a perfectly, blue sky day, well, so throw some clouds in there. It's okay. Nobody will know. It's fine. Yeah, and this
dead trees are big. This photographer into dead trees.
Yeah, and he needs a longer lens, or she needs a longer lens.
Yeah,
That's that or
tight
cropping.
on that. Yeah, that's just crop it. Now, you could crop this.
I don't know how big it is to begin with.
Like that for a more
There you
dynamic
go.
picture. And I think you could even go in a little tighter than that. That's just a straight flip the crop.
Yeah. Well, I find myself, cropping more 8x10 nowadays,
Yeah?
4x5, because if I'm going to print it, that's probably as small as I want to print anything anymore. So I find myself printing at that aspect ratio.
All right, and the third one is this one.
Well, you got the moment. Okay, that's what you were after. You got the moment, but it's blown out.
It is a bit blown out. It's also, I don't know if it's super sharp. Again, I think some of these shutter speeds are falling so low that you're not getting super sharp shots.
And that's it. You have to make a decision when you're going to go up to 1/2000. You have to make a decision. If you're going to shoot it at f2.8, maybe your long lens. My 200 to 500 is a 5.6, so you can only go down just so far.
Sure.
And the real problem becomes how much can your camera deal with the ISO? If I'm shooting low light situations, I'll use my full frame D750. If I need really fast and I'm not all that worried about the ISO, then the D500 is fine.
Well, these shots, though, are all taken in broad daylight. There should be at 0.003 of a second, 0.004 of a second. What is it that they're using too high an f-stop? Let's go see if we can see what their f-stop was.
I'm not sure. Can you?
Might be able to in camera raw. This was 1/800th of a second. That's not fast enough.
That's not quite fast enough.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'd say
And
1200 minimum.
This one is 1/1250.
It's almost there. It did freeze the water pretty much. Yeah. It's just the problem with it blown out. Underexposed. If you're going to use... I got tired. I was shooting manual mode. It's always manual mode. And then I realized the only thing I was ever changing was the ISO. I mean, because if I'm shooting through a fence, I'm wide open. If I'm shooting something moving quick, I'm shooting as fast as I can. And that only left one thing. So I went, and I was going from shade to sun to shade to sun. It's like, forget it. Set auto ISO, and it works just great. Unless you forget you've done that, and you're looking at the back of your camera.
But you need to set a minimum shutter speed when you do your
yes,
auto ISO.
Absolutely.
So I set mine at 1/1000th of a second, but you might want even faster.
Yeah, it
For
depends on
sports,
what
I
you're
do
shooting.
1/1000. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. Let's see what else we got here. We're cranking through them now, folks. Here we go. Let me see if we can get these a little bigger. Maybe we can get a little camera. Yeah.
I want to go shooting with this photographer.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, these are all really nice.
Yeah, that's the way it's done right there. That's spectacular.
Yeah, they're doing something interesting. Nice separation from the background. Look at this one. That's a beautiful hanging on the wall
Oh yeah.
shot there.
Oh yeah.
Look how sharp that is. I don't know if you guys can see when you're watching. That's a deadly sharp shot.
Oh yeah. And when I look over at Scott's computer instead of across the way, then it's just dramatic.
Yeah, that's
very,
nice.
very well done. And let's see that last
And
one.
that is 1/1000 1/1600th of a second.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go. But the bird's just taken off, so it's not going as fast as it might. Now, these are cute. A fox, I guess. I have a 4 baby wolves that I love that shot similar to that, where they look like their mom just walked off.
Mm-hmm. This one I think is on the run.
That's just really nice.
This fox? Anybody? No? You're all too young to get that reference. Okay. I got to find older friends. All right. All right. Well, Christina's back. I looked over, Christina was gone, and then suddenly she's back. Like I look over, like, whoa, there she is. How you doing? You feeling better? Yeah, last week she was sick, and now she's better. Oh, the whole family. Oh. Oh.
That's something you picked up in New York?
Yeah, the kids brought it home, and then, yeah, that's how it goes. All right, when we come back, we're going to look at more images, and we're going to also say hi to Kim from Colorado, Esther from San Francisco, Christy in Leeds, James from Wyoming. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Stephen Gotz for Kelby One. I'd like to welcome you here to the award-winning Oakland Zoo in Northern California, where I'm a photographer and a docent. This class on the art of zootography is all about why you should shoot at the zoo, what to expect when you do so, and how to get around the limitations that you find at zoos that you don't find in the wild. Zoos are great places for beginners to practice and perhaps learn to take their camera off of the auto setting. I'll cover many of the different photographic opportunities to be found at zoos. It may surprise you that it isn't just about trying to photograph animals in what appears to be their native habitat. I'll tell you how you might get your photos noticed and used by your zoo, and we'll cover how you might monetize your photographs. Join me for my class on the art of zootography, exclusively on Kelby One.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back, Scott and Steven, and we are looking at wildlife photos. We're doing blind critiques, and let's see. Oh, want to mention, first I want to thank everybody who came out to my seminars last week in San Diego and in Phoenix. We had such a great time. About 550 photographers. It was great. We had so much fun. My next 2 stops are in Houston, Texas, coming up at the end of March. On the 23rd on a Monday, and then on Wednesday I'm going to be in Los Angeles at the LA Convention Center. Come out and spend the day with me. It is a blast. We have so much fun, and you may learn stuff. I'm sure going to try. But I've got a great day put together. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'll super dig it. So come on out and go to kelby1live.com and come out and spend the day with me. We'll have all kinds of fun. And now it's time to look at more images. Let's go.
All right, start the timer.
Well, that's a nice shot.
That's a nice shot.
Come on, look at that.
It would be nice if the bird was looking in your direction, but he's probably tracking a fish.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, and it's just, it's a proper crop. It goes pretty much angle to angle, corner to corner. It's the way it's done, Abe. Good job.
Stephen, I'm gonna disagree with you on this one.
Okay.
I believe that the eagle is tracking the chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Okay, a little
messy. It's messy.
Yeah.
How could the photographer that took this amazing shot say this is one of my best works?
I will tell you how that happens.
How does it happen?
He loves these birds.
He's not looking at the photography.
No, I have the same problem. I have trouble culling because I love the animal. I've spent hours and hours and hours watching it, and it makes it difficult to cull any shots that aren't obviously bad.
All right.
And that's just fun. And look how it's perfect between the two sets of clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the birds in their
There's still enough room on the right-hand side to see where the birds are going.
Yeah.
No, that's the way it's done.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But that's not one you really frame on the wall like
No.
this one. That's enter it in competition, frame it on the wall. That's really nice.
Yes.
All right. And that middle one, lose it.
Yeah.
Lose the middle one. Just lose it. Here we go.
Well, okay, see, and here's another situation where it doesn't really matter how good the photograph is because you caught a moment and everybody says, ah. Okay, and if you can get people to look at your photographs, when we're talking about zootography or wildlife photography, and if your viewer says, ah, you win. That's it.
Yep. That's nice.
That's nice. It's quite tight, but on
That
purpose.
is tight. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so sharp.
And look at the eyes. The eyes are intent. That's what you want.
The eyes have it.
Kelby One's got a lot of really good photographers.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Hey, you know what? Look at the second bird. If you look at the second bird, you can tell it's looking at a chicken sandwich from Popeye. No, these are beautiful.
They're really just quite nice.
These are like best in breed wildlife photography.
Yeah, somebody knows what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. Great timing, great stuff. Really beautiful.
Yep.
Hey, good on you. All right, let's keep rolling.
Another moment.
What are those? Not baby foxes, are they?
No, I'm not sure what they are. They're cute, but I'd be willing to bet that that's not the moment.
Yeah.
That, however, may very well be the moment. I can't quite see. Can you zoom in a bit on his face?
I can try.
Trying to decide. Whoops.
Oh, that kind of made a mess.
Okay, so that's
It
just,
looks fairly
that's just
sharp.
wet feathers.
It looks
yeah,
fairly
yeah.
sharp.
No, I was trying to decide if there was a fish in there. Okay.
That's kind of boring.
Yeah, it is.
So these two are doing something interesting.
Yeah.
This hawk is doing something
Some sort of
interesting.
hawk. And
These are
they're just
buffalo
sort of
kinda
walking along.
Might as well
and
be 5 cows.
I've got hundreds and hundreds of pictures of bison from our zoo, and the only ones I really ever show people is where one has turned to me and stuck its tongue out, and you now know that bison have striped tongues, and so
yeah, this
it
is
makes it interesting, and
All
it'll
right.
be on a trading card.
So more of the ones that are doing stuff, less of the ones that are really doing nothing interesting. All right, let's roll on. Oh, that's nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not a zoo.
That's
yeah.
pretty good.
That's
And
the
then
way that's done.
Look at that.
Okay, so the question that one is like you missed the moment, kind of.
But you know what I like about this shot? There's an expression like look at the bear's eyes. It's a very expressive picture of a bear.
Yeah, it may be a little upset it missed the fish.
It might be upset, but it's very expressive. I actually really like the composition and tone of that, and that.
So why black and white is my question. When Dorothy walked out of the door into the land of Oz, the world went to color.
Yes.
Why take it back to Kansas? So generally, the only reason that I would take a photo to black and white is because the color was getting in the way of the message. Right. There was an emotion or something, and the color was getting in the way. I'm not sure what a bear and a fish color would cause a problem.
Yeah, some people just like black and white, and they just, or there may be some other reason why, but that's nice. I like that one, and that's really good.
Yeah, but you just fall in love with that one.
Oh, yeah, that poor fish. There's a name for that fish, Din.
Yes, well.
All right, good stuff. Let's roll on. It's a tree frog. Let's make the tree frog bigger if we can. We can. Tree frog.
Yeah.
Tree frog.
That's how it's done now.
That's a nice tree frog, huh?
That's a nice tree frog. Now, obviously, there's either the light, maybe a flash, probably a flash, which is great. I do that all the time. It's a natural. I don't think that's a faked vignette. I think that's natural from the flash. So I'd be happy with that shot.
So I did not know this about tree frogs. I was having lunch today with Matt Kluskowski, and Matt was talking to me about tree frogs. And he's like, tree frogs are about an inch tall.
Yeah.
I thought they were like 5, 6, 7 inches tall. No, they're like you're shooting with a macro lens. I'm like, really? I had no idea. So that's interesting that we would have that talk at lunch, and then boom, here's.
I shoot my frogs with a 105 millimeter micro lens, and I still have to crop way in.
I shoot my frogs with a Barrett 50 cal. No, just kidding. I don't shoot any animals. Okay. That's nice, sharp, clean.
It's okay. I would probably crop it.
Yeah, let's
horizontal.
crop this bad boy. Absolutely. I'm down with it. Here we go. Let's crop it in. It's horizontal.
There you go.
I think it could go even a little tighter than that.
Yeah, move him to the right a little bit.
I can't go.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
No, you're limited. Okay.
Yeah, I can't really. Well, I could go this way and
there you go
to the right. But I want to I'm trying to get rid of that dark area up top.
Because moving. Yeah.
Look how much more powerful there.
Now all of a sudden it just jumps out at you.
Boom.
Do not be afraid to crop. You can't get that close without spending a whole lot of money.
I'm scared.
Crop.
No, I'm with you, dude. I'm in the camp of make your images really pop.
Yep.
And this is another one that really has a lot of superfluous stuff in it.
Yeah, that's probably another horizontal shot.
And you might want to leave some of the branch there.
The problem I have is that there. See, now, boom. So it just jumped.
Oh, yeah.
Before I was having trouble seeing the face, and all. Now that's a nice enough shot.
What about the tree frog?
Well, that's just fabulous.
But what if we went in tighter?
Yeah.
Come on,
maybe.
wait till you see it. Because then we'll judge. Because it might be, you might be right. It might be just. Let's move it like a little this way.
Well, that, or maybe even vertical. For my trading cards, which I've had to learn to shoot, it's slightly taller than they are wide, and most animals don't look good that way. So this.
By the way, the shortcut to flip this from wide to tall is X. The letter X.
Yeah.
So now we can go in a little bit tighter, though.
I read all your posts about how to do these things, and I always feel really good about myself when it turns out that I knew that one.
Gary's got a great comment here. If you think you're close, get closer. And Michael Dow says, crop till they pop.
There you go.
Good shots, though, right? Just a little bit of cropping. And
that's it.
Like if they had all been cropped like that when we opened them, would have been like, wow.
That's exactly right, yeah.
And instead we were like, oh, it's okay. These are good. That's all right. Shows you what a difference cropping makes. Mm-hmm. All right, we're doing good.
Well, it's like sports. There's a limit. Oh,
ooh, look at this.
Horses again. Oh, you're not showing it. There you go.
It's a little flat, like the contrast.
Yeah.
The lighting's not awesome. I like the horses.
Texture might work. Even I know it sounds weird, but a little dehaze maybe, because I know dehaze is meant to cut haze, but it's just
a
a form of
contrast.
contrast,
It's a form of
right?
contrast. I think the whole thing's a little bright, a little hot.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling back the highlights in the grass.
Yeah.
It needs a bit more contrast, a bit more haze, and as you said, some texture.
Well, I'd probably apply the texture on a brush, but yeah. I have to watch myself to not apply texture to everything. I have to remember to
Texture's
use brush.
wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
One of the best things they've added in Lightroom and Camera Raw in many years.
Yep.
But look at the grass on the left. It's all kind of blown out and just white.
Yeah.
It draws your eyes away from the horse. So pulling back the highlights helped there. We added contrast, we added a little bit of texture, and we added quite a bit of dehaze. So, but I like the shot. It's just their poses.
Well, he waited. Somebody waited for that to happen. Now, I love horses. I love horses when they're doing something. I love horses when they're standing next to people. But horses are a fairly common animal. It's not a mandrill or some exotic animal. And while it has a really interesting mane, I'm not particularly thrilled with just a portrait. Now, that I like.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, see, now there's story there. There's movement there. Yeah, you could use that on a cover of an Old West book or a Sunset magazine. Or,
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we've got a good shot, meh, and a kind of meh.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. They can take a good shot. So, all right, here we go. Now it looks like we're in the wilds of Africa.
Ah, yes. And it may very well be.
Could be a wildebeest next to a cow. No, just kidding.
Cape buffalo?
Could be a Cape buffalo.
I can't tell the difference.
I don't know.
We don't have any at our zoo, so I don't know much about them. It's nice. And what's nice about it is that the little one is there. Now, the question is could there be a moment when that other little one was turned around?
Or they were doing something interesting. They're just sitting there, standing there, kind of chewing. It's not the most interesting.
Yeah. When you see one of the little ones underneath mom poking its head out, this just doesn't tell a story.
It's just like photographs of people.
Yeah.
See, you know what? You took this shot because it's an elephant. You go, oh, there's an elephant, and it's close to me.
It's an I was there shot.
Yeah.
But
look at that branch covering up half the elephant. It's messy.
It happens.
This is kind of the same thing. Dirty water, a little bit of a hippo. That just shows that you saw a hippo.
Right.
You're doing a historical shot.
I took a bunch of shots like that at Disney's Animal Kingdom the other day, and I didn't save any.
There you go. Yeah, because they're not doing anything.
No. Now, if the mouth had been open, they have enormous fangs. I mean, they're dangerous. Now, that's a different story.
Let me go see something. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I want to see something. Don't move.
I know what he's doing. Okay.
He knows what I'm doing.
Yeah. I generally do that before I go out shooting.
See if I can find one that you like.
All
right, so I went to 500px, typed in hippo. This is one of the first ones. Do you see the difference? Yeah. These hippos are doing something different. Their teeth are open. They look menacing. The water's interesting. The shot's interesting. The composition's interesting. When we're talking about, it's kind of a boring image. You gotta, show this one again. Show this. All right, and now give me a second, and now look at this one. It's just like, that's a.
Now, you live in Florida.
I do.
You know the best time to photograph an alligator?
Sunset? Or they come out?
Best time of year.
Oh, best time of year? I have no idea.
When it's really hot. You know why?
Because they come out to sun?
No. How does a dog release its heat? It pants. How does an alligator release its heat? It opens its mouth.
Oh.
So don't you really prefer an alligator with its mouth open if you're taking a photograph?
Yeah, we try to avoid alligators on a crazy level here.
I understand.
Well, that's like a big thing in Florida.
Go to Gatorland. It's a wonderful place.
There's a lot of gators there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ooh, now this is nice. Let me see if I can get them bigger. Hold on. Ooh, these are all nice. And the hippo shot. That's nice.
There you go.
That looks like it's lit, maybe. Can I say something? The white balance looks off.
It looks a little blue.
It looks blue, exactly. So let's go to the white balance and just add a little yellow in there and make that. There we go.
I've been known to cheat and
look at the
white
difference.
balance on the Jaguars or other cats like that on their white spots. Yeah.
All right, look at the difference.
Yep.
So all I did was move the temperature towards the warm, the top slider towards the right to make it look. But I first thing I noticed was that's not white fur, that's blue fur.
Yeah.
That this picture will be made much better by just doing that. Now, the unfortunate thing here, I think they must. You think they use flash, Stephen?
Might have. I have to go into the eyes and take a look.
What if we don't do that? Let me set this to outside and darken the area around the cat.
Yeah.
So it's more like this. Because this being bright up here isn't helping anybody.
No.
All of that being bright isn't really helping anybody.
Well, because it's really dark on the right, I might have just taken the rock out on the left and just burned it till it went away.
Yeah. So this is using the Radial Filter in Camera Raw. It's also in Lightroom. And I set it to where it is, the sliders that I move affect what's outside the oval. And that can give you a nice spotlight effect. And so I'm going to hide that overlay. So now you can see the before and after.
Yeah.
It doesn't look, but the whole thing, I think the whole photo, it could be me, is just a little overexposed.
Could be. And this is one of those I'd probably crop to an 8x10, get a little rid of the headroom above it, and be done.
Because you don't need all of that either, do you?
Except, and let me mention this, if you're going to be selling stock photos, you want to have extra room for such things as text.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
There you go. See, now that's a very nice photo.
So that was the original, and there's the one that we've changed. It just takes it up a notch. Still a very nice photo. I don't want to take anything away from it. Look at this one. One of the best of the day. Look at that.
There you go. And the water drops just everywhere, so we definitely had a fast shutter speed.
Little texture, Steve.
Yeah, always.
Ooh la la. That's beautiful. And look, interesting
there
hippo
you go.
shots. Now you know what?
That's how hippos are done.
I think all three of these are done in a zoo. What do you think?
Could very well be.
Come on,
because
look at
they're
that
so
background.
different, and
Look at that
they
background. Zoo.
Well, yes, yeah.
All right, this might have not been done in a zoo.
Well, I know. I've
Or
got
a
a lot
zoo.
of eagles up in trees in their zoo, and that is more than likely a zoo. I mean, you just wouldn't be allowed that close.
Good stuff, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, is it break time? Okay, you never know. Anyway, we have more to look at. Steven's with us. We're going to give away some stuff. It's all good right after the break. Don't go away. And by the way, Juan is here. That's his work you're experiencing right now. Every serious photographer needs an online portfolio. It's kind of like it's the thing, right? You don't have to have a printed one anymore. It's nice. But what's really critical is that you at least have an online portfolio. Everybody needs one. Problem is they're expensive. You got to pay for them, you got to sign up for them, and now you're paying another monthly fee. What if I told you you don't have to do that because it's already included in your Adobe Creative Cloud subscription? That's right. If you've got the Lightroom and Photography plan or the full Creative Cloud, you're already paying for a beautiful online website. Choose a theme. You got a bunch of cool themes. In fact, take a look. You go to myportfolio.com and click on examples. They show you a bunch of other photographers and designers' websites that are already there. And if you see one that you like, it'll even tell you what theme to start with. So you choose your theme, you upload your images, you add your text, you hit publish, and it's live. You're already paying for it, and I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to do it. You can upload your images from your computer. You can go straight from Lightroom. You can add video. You can do so much. You're going to be blown away at what you can do, and you're going to be thrilled to know it doesn't cost you a penny more than you're already paying. So it's included in your Creative Cloud subscription. I'm going to show you how to unlock this thing. You can have it up and running tonight. So go catch my brand new class on creating your online portfolio using Adobe Portfolio. It's exclusively at Kelby One.
Hi there, Kelby One members. Corey Barker here with Master Effects Training, and now, this time around, we are going to be talking about 3D compositing. Now, we've talked about 3D, we've talked about compositing. Now we're going to talk about 3D compositing. And what we're going to be doing is creating custom 3D scenes from a variety of 2D sources. Now, one of the key factors here is that we're going to be using the principles of photography. We're going to be building a composite, we're going to be using depth of field. We're going to be using lighting effects, backlighting effects. These are all things that you would construct when you're doing a photo shoot. We're going to do it all inside of Photoshop. I hope you'll join me in checking out these newest courses on kelby1.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Make sure you don't miss any episodes of The Grid by subscribing to Apple's podcast app or iTunes. It's free, and we even have a special audio-only version too. So sign up today.
Hey, we're back. I hope you do check out my class that you just saw the commercial for on the Adobe Portfolio. You can have that site up and running tonight, like boom. You can have it tonight. I mean, literally, it'll take you no time at all. I take you through all the different scenarios, how to build a simple one, a medium one, multiple categories. I take you through the whole thing from start. You'll be able to follow right along and get your images up and running. So, and thanks to our members who actually said, hey, you got a class, but they've changed the user interface. And I'm like, wow, they really have changed the user interface. So I went and redid the whole thing from scratch. I think it's actually better than the first class. So that's a bonus too. All right. Also, you guys know about the Platypod. So it is a new ball head that is pretty amazing. I think they showed. Did we show a video on it? I'm pretty sure we did. If you didn't, we will. But anyway, we did the Kickstarter campaign. We flicked the switch here. They were trying to raise $18,000 to make this ball head.
I backed it.
Did you?
I'm getting one. Yeah.
And look at where it's at, $370,000. They just wanted to raise 18. If we raise 18, we'll be in good shape. $370,000 pledged so far. Unbelievable. And there you go. It's probably the coolest, wildest, most unique ball head out there. And really, really cool. Congratulations to the folks at Platypod, who this was their concept and idea and their baby. And so I'm excited. All right. Let's look at some wildlife photos, starting with this one. This is a wildlife.
Let me get that timer going here. Oh, it's gone. Okay.
This is some wildlife.
The problem, that's interesting, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at. The problem is you want their eyes, and when you shoot people, you want their eyes, the windows of the soul, all that kind of thing. And there's probably a moment where the chimp is not looking directly at you. There's a chimp. That's a gorilla, small gorilla, I think. It's just looking off. It's not eating it. I mean, it's just holding.
It's a snapshot.
It's a snapshot.
And unfortunately, that's what's wrong with all of these. These are kind of snapshot. He's like, hey, I had my cell phone with me. I grabbed it real quick and took these pictures. They don't look like a professional photographer's taking them. It looks like somebody that just, got a phone.
But they were having a good time at the zoo, which is a good thing. But
yeah,
it's not.
That's a messy shot right there.
Yeah.
It's messy, and it's also kind of low contrasty. And the gorilla is in the shade.
Yes.
And you're using auto white balance, so
might be a little blue.
Little blue.
Yeah.
There now it's black, but let's go and at least hit auto and see what that does. It needs more contrast, a little bit of texture,
A lot of texture,
and it's better, but it's still got a ways to go.
Yeah, the best do, by the way, in my opinion, for chimps is in LA, but the gorillas at Disney's Animal Kingdom are fabulous.
They are. All right, let's go look at a couple quick. We're about out of time, so let's look at a couple quick ones.
See, the problem with shooting in bright sunshine is that they didn't even try to alleviate some of the shadow. They got the sun on the face, which is good, but I really don't think we need the blurry foreground. Background's fine. Foreground, not so much.
Yeah.
Now, the animal isn't exactly in profile. It's looking almost a little away from you. You gotta wait until you're either dead on profile or looking in your direction.
Yeah, what you have with their eyes is a black hole.
Yeah. Well, you can't
see how
always...
this one's got a reflection?
Yeah.
That black hole's not good.
Yeah. Now, people tease me sometimes because I will take a flash to photograph lions and tigers and bears and things, and they'll say, but the flash isn't going to reach that far. But what it does is it puts a tiny little catchlight in their eye, just a little glint on an overcast day that helps.
All righty. So we need a little work there. These two, this one's all right, though.
But it looks like they went out and did the work to get out into the wild to photograph it, so you got to give them props for that.
All right, I give you props for that. Here we go. We're going to look at these really quickly so we can wrap up.
Well, if you're a dog owner, that's a pretty cool picture.
What if you're a flamingo owner?
Yeah, probably not happy about it. Yeah. Now that one just needs a crop.
Definitely. Super crop.
Yeah.
Because you got this distracting ugliness down here.
Yeah.
And you have a very interesting bird.
Like I said, unless you can afford, 800 millimeter lenses, this is what you got to do.
Much better.
Yeah. Now I'd like the shadows a little bit, maybe. Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of post.
Yeah. Light and shadows and texture.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's better. That's a photograph.
Yep. That's a photograph.
Well, I mean, one of the advantages when you're shooting animals is people are predisposed to want to like the photo because they like the animal.
Right.
So it helps. It's like shooting kids,
Yeah, predisposed to like children. Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, that's a moment. It's okay. I'm not sure what it is that I'm not all that impressed.
It's not, just kind of not interesting.
Yeah, it's the right moment. I'm not sure what the other issue is, and it might just be contrast and not sure.
We're not sure. All right, let's look at a couple of these. Oh, well, now that's pretty. I love the colors of this next one.
Yeah.
That's really interesting light, and it's on a rooftop.
Minimalism.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen that photo, the guy that waited out thousands and thousands of hours, and he got the bird with just touching the water and then the reflection? This is an eighth of a second too late?
Yeah, it's a little too late. And this is his head underwater, upside down.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay, there's a glare there from a glass. Is that what I'm looking at? Is glare from glass?
I don't know if it's glare or just they're shooting through some reeds.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
I think they're shooting through some junk.
See, and that's the problem. You have to go stand somewhere else or find somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the problem is the birds don't always cooperate.
That's a cool shot. These are
yeah. You just have to remember, not every shot makes it. I mean, if I save 1 out of 100, I've got to go back and call later.
All right, just a couple left here. We got to do them quickly. These look like underwater shots.
Yeah. Graham, Well, it looks like the turtle's missing part of its fin.
Right there.
Yeah. It's like fingers and knuckles on people. You know, you don't want that.
Don't want to cut them off.
No, and there was room to tilt the camera. That needs a serious crop.
Now, what if we went in really tight?
Yeah. Yeah, and a little post to sharpen things and.
Yeah, well, it's really that's the actual size. It needs some more cropping too.
Yeah.
There's too much of this junk.
I mean, the subject is the eel, so make the subject well known. It's tough when you find a photograph and you're not sure exactly where you're supposed to be looking. Yeah. Make it really easy for the viewer to know where to look.
All right, what do we got here?
Cotton top tamarin, one of my favorites.
That is actually a Pomeranian.
Oh, an Asian bear.
Asian bear.
There we go. That's a cheetah.
That's nice. That's a cheetah up close.
When I was shooting cheetahs on Monday, I was standing next to a New Yorker, and it was pretty funny because he was telling his kids that it was a cheetah. Anyway.
Oh, that was bad. That was a really, really bad joke.
Yeah, but he was funny.
Right. Okay, let's...
Okay, so that one, the problem is, and you need to raise those shadows up. I might even take a gradient up from the lower left-hand corner and just brighten everything up down there a little bit, right up to the face, like that. Yeah. It's nice sitting next to a guy that really understands Photoshop. It's a lot easier.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
All right. So that is, I think, just a little bit of post.
Yeah,
I think you'll see is, and you could also warm it up a bit. When whatever you're shooting's in the shade, you can almost guarantee it's going to be a little blue. It's just a straight up, it's going to be a little blue.
Yep.
What's going on with my hair? It looks kind of funky. Can we fix this? Anybody? No?
I don't know. I don't have a lot left, so I don't worry about it.
I liked it better in the 11-year ago version. There's a lot more. All right, last two. This is one. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, I would be inclined to do a little dodging and burning.
You're gonna go darken these two spots.
Yeah, and then lighten up his snout and
darken that up.
Yeah.
And then hit another one, hit new, and then brighten up.
Yeah, like that.
Maybe hit the eyes.
Now, I realize that the stuff coming out of his nose is normal, but I might get rid of it
nasty.
Just because.
All right, it's nasty.
It's
nasty. All right, what about this? I like how close and tight they are.
Yes. Well, we talked about it before. I learned from watching the grid that if your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough.
Not close enough.
And that's fun. Now, it's interesting. You can tell it's a zoo because they've cut the tusk, but that's normal.
That looks like a portrait.
Yes.
That's nice.
It's nice. Now,
little hot.
Yeah, and the little bit of light to the lower left, I might just get rid of it. It's hunched.
Like that stuff?
Yeah, those, I might just get rid of them.
We'll just burn those down.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom.
Yeah. But that's nice.
That's nice.
I will tell you that people like photos like that.
Yeah, they do.
They just,
Nice job, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good for one of the best of the day. Here we go. Oh, we're ending strong, folks. Ending strong.
There you go.
Nice bear. Sharp.
I could use a little texture and.
I got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we've got some puffins.
Puffins. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather. That might not be the right moment, but it's a good enough photograph. But I think that there might have been better moments. So
you know what's weird with me for this shot for me? The balance.
Yeah.
Like you have 7/8 of one wing and
Well,
maybe
the
a half
solution
of
to
the
that is to, once again, oh my God, crop in.
Yeah, but
because
is not
this
giving
makes
you
it look
crop.
like you missed the shot,
Yeah.
as opposed to
Good
planned it.
insight. I like that. All right.
Change it to an 8x10,
An 8x10.
4x5, whatever.
How about what is the ratio?
4x5.
4x5.
Because if you're going to print it, that might be what you'd printed anyway. There you go.
That's
now
better.
it's on purpose.
That's better.
Right?
There you go. Actually, I still would cheat it over a little to the other side. Hang on.
Yeah.
I would go a little more that way.
There you go. Yep.
That's better.
Yeah, just as that wing just before it started to go back up again. Yep.
All right, that's pretty nice. We ended on a good note. Speaking of good notes, let's give away some giveaways. The Dave Williams book, The Complete Aurora Guide. If you don't win it, go buy it on Amazon. Rob Shannon is the winner of this book. So congratulations, Rob. The Animal book, Jill Rubino. So Jill, congratulations. You've won Animals Reviewed. And the platypod goes to, let me see if I can say their name right, Jesse Fair Reason. Sorry if I messed up your name. Jesse, with an F. Jesse F. You won platypod.
Now, Jill, you're not going to be able to look at the animals on your safari the same way after reading this book,
Yes, it will
because you're
change
going
you.
to find yourself shooting with those little subtitles in your head.
True that. Well, Stephen, thank you. That was very, very insightful and good stuff. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
I know that even though they're blind critiques, it's not easy to send in your images and have other people, say they look like snapshots. But they
keep
don't
shooting.
all. There's lots of good shots today. I think we had a lot of good shots
We
today.
did, yeah.
Had a lot of good ones. And I hope that you're looking back and starting to realize what makes a dynamic shot. Getting in tight. How important white balance is. White balance. Fix the white balance. It's underrated. And also, we'll be back next week. I'm not sure I'm going to be here next week because now I think I'm going to Las Vegas to WPPI next Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be doing a book signing over at the Rocky Nook booth. I've got a relatively new book out I'll be signing. And I'm going to do some media. This all just happened today. I wasn't going to go, and now it looks like I'm going. I believe I will be there Wednesday and Thursday, mostly Thursday. But either way, hope I see you in Vegas, because Eric will be here doing his Eric stuff. Do we have a guest for Eric? Oh, there's nobody here. It'll probably be Eric and Juan. And Juan will remotely run the jib from here with a wireless unit. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Stephen, who is awesome. Stephen, where can they learn more about you?
Well, I started a brand new blog at artofzootography.com. So check it out. I'll be posting all kinds of stories there and giving you links to my pictures and things like that.
And of course, don't forget to go follow Juan on Instagram. Not just Juan, though, but also the digital surgeon. Where's the surgeon? Oh, bring it up a little. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Hey, look. When the guy in the control room's beating your wildlife shots, you know you got some work to do.
Well,
Look, he's a video guy, but he's a good
front of that
photographer.
beat.
He's got a good eye, and he's beating you. Don't let Jason beat you. Also, don't forget to follow Eric Kuna, he's just on Instagram as Eric Kuna. He just shot another launch. Got some great shots. Look at these shots. Now, our camera crew was there to capture it, and Eric is doing a class on Kelby 1 on how to shoot. Look at that shot. That's my favorite. Go back one. Look at this. That is so crisp. That's crispy crisp. You know what that looks like? That looks like the aftermath of an Atlas V 411 launching the Solar Orbiter probe to study the sun. But I'm just guessing.
Just guessing. There you go.
We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to our crew here, Ron, all the guys. Cheers.